I asked you this question earlier. Do you teach decision making? Yes. Well, how do you teach decision making? I think there's another question then, which says, if we know there's something else going on here besides decision making, how can we teach that? So my question to you would, do you teach how to fail? And there's the answer is you probably are, but maybe not purposely. And I'm going to position to you, propose to you that we need to be purposefully teaching people how to fail, because it's going to build their schema, build their sense making, and allow them to understand where the boundaries are around their activities. So here's the model part of this whole thing: training for normal and training for non-normal and training for failure. Training for failure comes from the weightlifting world. I'm no weightlifter. My skinny arms here, you can tell. What they say is you put a weight on a bar and you lift it as many times until you can't lift it anymore. And by doing so, you get stronger, right? That's physiological adaptation. Well, there's also a psychological adaptation that goes with that. So by understanding where our boundaries are, we will get stronger at those boundaries. And that's what Rasmussen has been talking about for some time. And I think that's a really important perspective to take here. So what we do now is we flip our perspective on safety critical events from one of being the rescuer, to being the rescued. Whenever we turn around in that kind of scenario, it really starts to open up some doors for us. So here's what I'm a river person. That's my own background. So I came out of the canoe guiding, the wilderness northern canoe trip guiding background in the whitewater world. Spent lots of time teaching people how to throw rescue ropes, and spent zero time on how to catch them. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, great. I'll hit you with the bag, but you won't know what to do with it when it comes to you. So when you flip that around and start to train people on how to catch a bag, yeah, you've got to teach them how to throw it to get there. It becomes incidental. But really, who are we worried about? We're worried about the person in the water. So why don't we try to create some skills there, coping skills at the boundaries? That's Rasmussen's words. So when we flip this around, or go from a kind of like a football field, where we kind of see all the players moving around in the football field and have this bird's eye view, and we kind of put ourselves in the scenario to understand the context and the feelings and what would it be like there, it changes the story. And that's how we can change our training, is to try to be in that place. What does a safety critical situation look like? And how can we help people cope when they're there? We do that by meaningful interaction with the inherent risks. So rather than striving to control behavior by fighting deviation, rather than trying to prevent mistakes, training for normal, we control behavior by making the boundaries explicit and known. Boundaries are really important to me, and by giving opportunities to develop coping skills at those boundaries. So we're flipping around from don't make a mistake, that's fail-safe operations, to the exact opposite, which is how can we create environments to have people explore failure so that they get some level of understanding there. So when it happens, sense making is effective and there's a response. If there's no schema, there's no sense making, and nothing happens. There's nothing to fall out from underneath that. There's no action, there's no behavior, there's no implementation of skills.